Welcome back to Prepper's Paradigm, your trusted source for practical preparedness advice. Today, we're delving into the potential disaster scenarios that could unfold in 2024. But before we dive in, let's talk about how we determine the likelihood of these events. When we discuss the likelihood of a disaster, we're considering a range of factors, including historical data, scientific projections, and current global trends. While some events, like power outages or severe weather, may have a higher probability based on past or current occurrences, others, such as world wars or asteroid impacts, are deemed less likely due to their rarity but are still important to consider given their potential impact. It's essential to understand that the likelihood of a disaster can change over time as new information becomes available and societal dynamics evolve. Our goal is not to induce fear, but to empower you with knowledge and practical strategies to prepare for any eventuality. So, whether you're new to prepping or a seasoned survivalist, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Together, let's navigate the uncertainties of the future with confidence. Now let's explore the most likely disaster scenarios of 2024, starting with the smaller or more localized events, moving through to the globally devastating disasters. First, we'll look at relatively minor or localized disasters that, while not as catastrophic as larger-scale events, can still disrupt our lives significantly. Some of these events have a large impact on those affected, but are limited to a localized area, whereas others could affect just an individual or family. These are the events that you should prepare for first, because they are both more likely to happen than the huge, widespread disasters, and they are also easier to prepare for. We'll explore the likelihood and impact of each scenario to better understand their potential consequences. Household fires. Likelihood high. Impact high. House fires are one of the most common yet devastating emergencies that preppers may face. Whether caused by cooking accidents, electrical malfunctions, or other hazards, fires can spread rapidly and engulf entire structures within minutes. In addition to the immediate danger to life and property, house fires can result in smoke inhalation, burns, and emotional trauma for those involved. Preppers should prioritize fire prevention measures, such as installing smoke detectors, maintaining electrical systems, and practicing safe cooking habits. Developing and regularly practicing a home fire escape plan is also essential to ensure everyone knows what to do in the event of a fire. By being vigilant and prepared, preppers can reduce the risk of house fires and increase the likelihood of survival in an emergency. Medical emergencies. Likelihood high. Impact moderate to high. Medical emergencies, including minor injuries, accidents, or illnesses, can strike anyone at any time. While they may not always be life-threatening, they often require immediate attention and can disrupt our daily routines. Being prepared with basic first aid knowledge and supplies can make all the difference when an accident or injury occurs. While often considered minor, illnesses such as seasonal flu or gastrointestinal illness can have significant impacts on health, productivity, and well-being. Practicing good hygiene and seeking medical attention when needed are essential in preventing the spread of illness. More serious illnesses can have a devastating effect on individuals and families. As well as the emotional impact, there is a practical and financial risk too, for example being unable to work or needing full-time care. Having a plan for what you will do if affected by a major illness is a useful way to try to minimize the impact, both financially and by additional peace of mind. Vehicle breakdowns. Likelihood high. Impact moderate. Vehicle breakdowns can occur unexpectedly and leave individuals stranded in potentially hazardous situations, particularly during emergencies. Mechanical failures, flat tires, or running out of fuel can all render a vehicle inoperable, disrupting travel plans and leaving individuals vulnerable. Preppers should prioritize vehicle maintenance, including regular inspections and servicing, to minimize the risk of breakdowns. Additionally, carrying essential items such as a spare tire, jumper cables, and emergency supplies can help mitigate the impact of a breakdown. It's also crucial for preppers to familiarize themselves with basic vehicle repair techniques and have a plan in place for contacting roadside assistance or seeking help from nearby communities. By being proactive and prepared, preppers can increase their resilience and mobility during emergencies. Localized flooding. Likelihood moderate. Impact moderate to high. Localized flooding, although often temporary, can have significant impacts on communities and individuals. Heavy rainfall, overflowing rivers, or blocked drainage systems can lead to water accumulation in streets, homes, and businesses, causing property damage, road closures, and disruptions to daily life. Preppers should be vigilant during periods of heavy rain and be prepared to take swift action to protect themselves and their property. This may include elevating belongings, using sandbags to divert water, or evacuating to higher ground if necessary. Additionally, having an emergency flood kit with essential supplies such as water, food, and first aid supplies can help preppers weather the effects of flooding more comfortably. By staying informed, proactive, and prepared, preppers can mitigate the risks associated with localized flooding and minimize its impact on their lives. Minor structural damage to property. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Minor structural damage may seem innocuous at first glance, but it can escalate into more significant issues if left unaddressed, particularly during emergencies. Cracked walls, leaking roofs, or foundation issues may compromise the integrity of a building, posing safety risks to occupants. In the event of an earthquake or severe weather event, minor structural damage can worsen rapidly, leading to collapses or further deterioration. Preppers should regularly inspect their properties for signs of structural damage and take proactive measures to reinforce vulnerable areas. This may include reinforcing walls, securing loose objects, and retrofitting buildings to withstand anticipated hazards. By addressing minor structural issues promptly, preppers can mitigate risks and ensure the safety of themselves and their loved ones during emergencies. Animal intrusions. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, low to moderate. Animal intrusions can disrupt daily life and pose safety risks, especially during emergencies. Encounters with wildlife or domestic animals, such as raccoons, snakes, or stray dogs, can result in property damage, injuries, or even transmission of diseases. In rural areas, larger wildlife like bears or mountain lions may pose significant threats. During disasters like floods or wildfires, displaced animals seeking refuge may inadvertently enter residential areas, increasing the likelihood of human-animal conflicts. It's essential for preppers to secure their property by repairing fences, sealing entry points, and properly storing food to deter animals. Additionally, understanding local wildlife behavior and having appropriate deterrent measures, such as motion-activated lights or noise devices, can help mitigate risks associated with animal intrusions. Gas leak. Likelihood, low. Impact, moderate. Gas leaks pose a significant threat to both property and human life, making them a critical concern in emergency preparedness. If identified and dealt with quickly, the impact is low, but if not, it could be huge. A gas leak scenario might involve the faint odor of gas, hissing sounds from pipes, or visible signs like dead vegetation near pipelines. In the event of a gas leak, immediate action is crucial. Evacuating the area, shutting off the gas supply if possible, and contacting emergency services are paramount. Even a small spark could trigger a devastating explosion. Therefore, it's essential to educate oneself and family members on gas safety protocols, including the location of gas shut-off valves and the importance of maintaining gas appliances regularly. Being vigilant and proactive can prevent potentially catastrophic outcomes and ensure the safety of everyone involved. By understanding the likelihood and impact of these relatively minor or localized disasters, we can better prepare ourselves to mitigate their effects and protect our families and communities. Next, let's explore major, regional, or national disasters that have the potential to significantly impact many people. These disasters are a step up from the previous section in terms of how large their impact is or how many people they affect. While not society-ending disasters, these disasters could have a significant regional or national impact. Severe weather events. Likelihood, high. Impact, high. Severe weather events such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods are among the most unpredictable and destructive natural disasters preppers may encounter. These events can unleash devastation on communities and landscapes. Preparing for severe weather involves both anticipation and readiness. Monitoring weather forecasts, establishing emergency communication channels, and securing or reinforcing property are essential steps to take beforehand. During severe weather events, quick decision-making and adherence to evacuation orders can save lives. After the storm passes, assessing damage, rendering aid to those in need, and beginning the process of recovery are paramount. Wildfires. Likelihood, moderate to high. Impact, high. Wildfires pose significant risks to individuals and communities, particularly in regions prone to dry conditions and high temperatures. These fires can spread rapidly, consuming vast areas of land, destroying homes, and endangering lives. Preparing for wildfires involves implementing proactive measures to reduce the risk of ignition, such as maintaining defensible space around properties, clearing debris, and trimming vegetation. Additionally, having an evacuation plan in place, including designated meeting points and emergency supplies, is crucial for ensuring personal safety during wildfire events. Staying informed about local fire conditions and heeding evacuation orders from authorities can also help individuals mitigate the risks associated with wildfires. Pandemics. Likelihood, moderate to high. Impact, high. Pandemics, such as influenza outbreaks or novel viruses like COVID-19, pose unique challenges to preppers due to their rapid and widespread transmission. These infectious diseases can overwhelm healthcare systems, disrupt supply chains, and instigate societal upheaval. Preparing for pandemics involves a multifaceted approach, including stockpiling essential supplies such as food, water, and medical supplies, practicing good hygiene habits, and staying informed about the latest developments from reliable sources. Additionally, developing contingency plans for remote work or schooling and supporting vulnerable community members are crucial steps in pandemic preparedness. While the prospect of a pandemic can be daunting, preppers who prioritize preparedness, resilience, and community cooperation can navigate these challenges with greater confidence and effectiveness. War. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. The specter of war, whether regional conflicts or global conflagrations, represents a profound threat to preppers and society at large. Wars can erupt for various reasons, including geopolitical tensions, territorial disputes, or ideological conflicts, leading to widespread destruction, displacement, and loss of life. Preparing for the possibility of war involves understanding the geopolitical landscape, monitoring international relations, and staying informed about potential conflict hotspots. In addition to physical preparations such as stockpiling essential supplies and fortifying shelter, preppers should also prioritize mental and emotional resilience. Cultivating a sense of community, fostering relationships with neighbors, and maintaining open lines of communication can provide vital support networks during times of crisis. While the prospect of war is sobering, preppers who remain vigilant, adaptable, and united can better navigate the uncertainties and challenges it presents. Earthquakes. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. Earthquakes present a formidable and unpredictable threat, capable of causing widespread devastation and loss of life. These seismic events result from the sudden release of energy along fault lines beneath the Earth's surface, leading to ground shaking, structural damage, and secondary hazards such as tsunamis and landslides. Preparing for earthquakes involves understanding the risks specific to your location, reinforcing structures to withstand seismic forces, and securing heavy objects to prevent them from becoming hazards during tremors. Additionally, creating and practicing earthquake response plans, including drop, cover, and hold-on procedures, can mitigate injuries and save lives. Although the timing and magnitude of earthquakes cannot be predicted with certainty, preppers who prioritize preparedness, resilience, and community cooperation can better weather the aftermath of these powerful natural disasters. Terrorist attacks. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. Terrorist attacks represent a significant threat to public safety and societal stability, characterized by deliberate acts of violence targeting civilian populations, infrastructure, or critical facilities. These attacks can take various forms, including bombings, shootings, or vehicular ramming, and are often motivated by ideological, political, or religious extremism. Even those not directly affected by a terrorist attack could be indirectly affected. For example, terrorist attacks against critical infrastructure could result in widespread power failures or water supply contamination. Preparing for terrorist attacks involves remaining vigilant and aware of potential threats, reporting suspicious activities to authorities, and familiarizing oneself with emergency response protocols. Additionally, if you are in an area that could be a potential target, enhancing physical security measures, such as installing surveillance cameras or bollards, and conducting drills to practice evacuation and lockdown procedures, can help mitigate the impact of an attack. Cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. Cyber attacks on critical infrastructure can have profound consequences, disrupting essential services such as power supply, transportation, and financial transactions. For example, an attack on elements of the power grid could result in prolonged blackouts, leaving us without access to electricity for heating, cooling, or communication. Similarly, a bank failure due to a cyber attack could lead to financial losses, restricted access to funds, and disruptions to online banking services. To mitigate these risks, individual preppers can take proactive steps such as diversifying their energy sources with backup generators or solar panels, maintaining emergency supplies for essential needs, and storing a backup reserve of cash in a secure location in case of banking disruptions. Additionally, practicing good cybersecurity, such as using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being cautious of suspicious emails or websites, can help protect personal information and financial assets from cyber threats. Biological contamination of water sources. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. Biological contamination of water sources presents a significant threat to public health and safety, as it can lead to outbreaks of waterborne diseases and widespread illness. Contamination may occur due to various factors such as sewage leaks, agricultural runoff, industrial spills, even a terrorist attack, introducing pathogens, toxins, or chemical contaminants into drinking water supplies. Ingesting contaminated water can result in gastrointestinal infections, dehydration, and even long-term health consequences. Preparing for biological contamination of water sources involves implementing water treatment and purification methods such as boiling, filtration, or chemical disinfection to ensure the safety of drinking water. Additionally, maintaining emergency water supplies and having access to alternative sources such as bottled water or stored rainwater can provide a lifeline during contamination events. Biological contamination of food supply. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. Biological contamination of the food supply poses a serious risk to public health, potentially leading to widespread illness, foodborne outbreaks, and economic losses. Contamination can occur by accident or even maliciously at any point along the food production and distribution chain, from farms and processing facilities to transportation and storage. Pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, or parasites, as well as toxins produced by mold or algae, can contaminate food, causing foodborne illnesses ranging from mild gastrointestinal discomfort to severe and life-threatening conditions. Preparing for biological contamination of the food supply involves adopting safe food handling practices, such as washing hands and surfaces, cooking food thoroughly, and storing perishable items properly. Additionally, staying informed about food recalls and advisories, sourcing food from reputable suppliers, and maintaining emergency food supplies can help mitigate the risks associated with contamination events. Political instability and governance failure. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate to high. Political instability and governance failure represent significant threats to societal cohesion, stability, and security. When governments fail to effectively address the needs and concerns of their citizens, it can lead to social unrest, protests, and even civil conflicts. Weak governance systems are susceptible to corruption, authoritarianism, and erosion of democratic principles, undermining trust in institutions and fostering polarization. Preparing for political instability and governance failure involves staying informed about political developments. Additionally, cultivating community resilience, building networks of support, and developing contingency plans for emergencies can help mitigate the impacts of political upheaval. Economic downturn. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Economic downturns, characterized by periods of recession, financial instability, or widespread unemployment, pose significant challenges to individuals, families, and communities. These downturns can result from various factors, including global economic trends, financial crises, or structural changes in industries. During economic downturns, individuals may experience job losses, reduced income, or difficulties accessing essential goods and services. Preparing for economic downturns involves building financial resilience through savings, diversified income streams, and prudent financial planning. Additionally, developing skills that are in demand in various economic climates, maintaining a strong professional network, and staying informed about economic trends can help individuals navigate uncertain economic times. Mass migration. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Mass migration, driven by conflicts, natural disasters, or socio-economic factors, introduces unique challenges for both migrants and the communities they may settle in. For individuals residing in areas prone to receiving an influx of immigrants, it's crucial to prepare adequately to mitigate potential strains on resources and infrastructure. This preparedness involves several steps, including ensuring personal and family emergency supplies are well stocked to withstand increased demand for essentials like food, water, and medical supplies. Civil unrest. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Social unrest, characterized by protests, demonstrations, or civil disobedience, can erupt in response to various societal grievances, including inequality, injustice, or political unrest. Such unrest poses risks to public safety, property, and social cohesion, affecting individuals and communities alike. During periods of civil unrest, preppers can take proactive steps to ensure their safety and well-being. It's essential to remain vigilant and aware of developments in your area by monitoring local news and social media channels. Preppers should also have a plan in place to avoid areas of unrest and to navigate alternative routes if necessary. Ensuring home security measures are in place, such as reinforcing doors and windows and having emergency supplies readily accessible, can provide peace of mind during uncertain times. Additionally, preppers should consider forming or joining community watch groups to enhance collective security and support networks. Industrial accidents. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Industrial accidents pose significant risks to individuals and communities, often resulting in catastrophic consequences such as explosions, chemical spills, or fires. These incidents can occur in various settings, including factories, refineries, or manufacturing plants, and may lead to environmental contamination, property damage, and injuries or fatalities. Preparing for industrial accidents involves understanding potential hazards in one's vicinity, staying informed about safety protocols and evacuation procedures, and having emergency supplies and communication plans in place. Infrastructure failures. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, moderate. Infrastructure failures, whether due to age, neglect, natural disasters, or attacks, can have widespread and severe impacts on communities. These failures can encompass a range of critical systems, including bridges, dams, transportation networks, and utilities such as water and power supply. When infrastructure fails, It can lead to disruptions in essential services, property damage, and even loss of life. Preparing for infrastructure failures involves understanding the vulnerabilities of local infrastructure and having contingency plans in place for alternative routes or backup systems. Emerging technology risks. Likelihood, low to moderate. Impact, high. Emerging technology risks encompass a wide array of potential hazards that can impact individuals, including job loss due to automation and technological advancements. As AI, robotics, and automation systems become more prevalent, there is a growing concern about the displacement of traditional jobs and the need for individuals to adapt to new skill requirements. To mitigate the risk of job loss, individuals should prioritize continuous learning and skill development. These major, regional, or national disasters pose significant challenges to our communities and require comprehensive preparedness and response efforts. Now, let's delve into extreme worldwide disasters that, while less likely, could have catastrophic impacts on a global scale. Understanding the likelihood and potential consequences of these events is essential for preparing for worst-case scenarios. While we, as individuals, have little control over reducing the risk of these events occurring, we can prepare to survive them. Remember that this video is not intended to induce panic. We're not saying that we expect these events to happen in the near future, but by considering all possibilities, we can be prepared for anything. Global pandemic with high mortality rate. Likelihood, moderate to high. Impact, high. A global pandemic with a high mortality rate poses a significant threat, with the potential to overwhelm healthcare systems, disrupt economies, and cause widespread loss of life. While we've seen pandemics in the past, the emergence of highly contagious and deadly pathogens remains a persistent risk. Maintaining good personal hygiene practices, such as frequent hand washing, using hand sanitizer, and avoiding close contact with sick individuals, can help reduce the risk of infection. Additionally, staying informed about the latest developments and following recommendations from healthcare authorities and experts is crucial for making informed decisions about personal safety measures. Stocking up on essential supplies, such as non-perishable food, water, medications, and hygiene products, can ensure individuals are prepared to stay home and limit exposure during a pandemic outbreak. Moreover, fostering a supportive network of family, friends, and neighbors can provide emotional and practical assistance during challenging times. Global economic collapse. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. A global economic collapse represents a catastrophic scenario with far-reaching implications for individuals, businesses, and entire economies. Such an event could result from various factors, including financial crises, market crashes, or systemic failures within the financial system. The impact of a global economic collapse will be profound, leading to widespread unemployment, poverty, and social unrest. Individuals can prepare for the possibility of a global economic collapse by prioritizing financial resilience and diversification. This includes maintaining emergency savings, reducing debt, and becoming as self-sufficient as possible. Moreover, acquiring essential skills and pursuing education or training in high-demand industries can increase individuals' employability and adaptability in the face of economic uncertainty. Extreme climate change catastrophe. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. In the face of a climate change catastrophe, individuals can take proactive steps to protect themselves and their loved ones from its impacts. One crucial measure is to assess and mitigate risks specific to the location, such as vulnerability to extreme weather events or rising sea levels. This may involve fortifying homes against storms, investing in flood defenses, or relocating to safer areas if necessary. Staying informed about local climate risks and working to become as self-sufficient as possible can also help individuals navigate the challenges of a changing climate more effectively. Global food crisis. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. A global food crisis presents a formidable challenge with widespread implications for individuals and communities worldwide. Such a crisis could result from various factors, including extreme weather events, crop failures, conflicts, or disruptions in food supply chains. The impact of a global food crisis can be severe, leading to food shortages, price spikes, malnutrition, and social unrest. Take proactive steps to prepare for the possibility of a food crisis by prioritizing food security and resilience. This may involve building a stockpile of non-perishable food items, such as canned goods, grains, and dried fruits, to sustain themselves and their families during periods of scarcity. Additionally, cultivating home gardens, participating in community-supported agriculture programs, and learning food preservation techniques can help become more self-sufficient and less reliant on fragile food systems. Collapse of global supply chains. Likelihood, moderate. Impact, high. The collapse of global supply chains presents a daunting challenge with far-reaching consequences for individuals and communities worldwide. Such a collapse could result from various factors, including natural disasters, geopolitical tensions, or economic disruptions. the impact of a collapsed supply chain can be profound, leading to shortages of essential goods and services, disruptions in manufacturing and distribution, and economic instability. Individuals can take proactive steps to prepare for the possibility of supply chain disruptions by prioritizing self-sufficiency and resilience. This may involve building a stockpile of essential items such as food, water, medications, and household supplies to sustain themselves during periods of scarcity. Additionally, individuals can explore alternative sources for goods and services, such as local markets or community networks, to reduce reliance on fragile global supply chains. Nuclear war. Likelihood low to moderate. Impact high. The prospect of nuclear war is a harrowing scenario with catastrophic implications for individuals and societies globally. In the event of a nuclear conflict, the devastation would be immense, with widespread destruction of infrastructure, loss of life, and long-term environmental consequences. While the survivability of a nuclear war would depend on various factors, including the scale and intensity of the conflict, it is crucial to acknowledge that even in a worst-case scenario, some individuals may survive. However, the aftermath would likely be fraught with challenges, including exposure to radiation, scarcity of resources, and social disorder. Despite the grim nature of this threat, individuals can take steps to prepare for the possibility of nuclear war by educating themselves about nuclear risks, creating emergency plans, and establishing designated shelters or safe havens. Additionally, stockpiling essential supplies such as food, water, medical supplies, and radiation detection equipment can increase individuals' chances of survival in the event of a nuclear disaster. Biological warfare. Likelihood low to moderate. Impact high. Biological warfare presents a grave threat with devastating consequences for individuals and communities. In the event of a biological attack, pathogens or toxins could be deliberately released, resulting in widespread illness, loss of life, and social disruption. The survivability of a biological attack would depend on factors such as the nature of the agent used, the effectiveness of public health response measures, and individual susceptibility to infection. While the prospect of surviving a biological attack is daunting, it is essential to recognize that individuals can take proactive steps to prepare for such an event. This may include familiarizing themselves with common biological agents and their symptoms, practicing good hygiene habits, and stockpiling essential supplies such as medical kits, protective equipment, and medications. Additionally, staying informed about potential threats and following guidance from public health authorities can help individuals respond effectively in the event of a biological attack. Space weather events. Likelihood low. Impact high. Major space weather events, such as large coronal mass ejections, known as CMEs, pose a significant threat to Earth's technology and infrastructure, with the potential to cause a global grid-down scenario. These events can result in geomagnetic storms that disrupt satellite communications, GPS systems, and power grids, leading to widespread technological failures and infrastructure damage. The effects of such events can include power outages, communication disruptions, and damage to electronic devices, which could extend beyond local regions to impact entire continents or even the entire globe. While individuals may not be able to prevent large CMEs from occurring, they can take proactive steps to prepare for their potential impacts. This may include staying informed about space weather forecasts and alerts, implementing measures to protect sensitive electronics such as surge protectors or Faraday cages, and having backup power sources available such as generators or solar panels. Additionally, individuals can develop emergency plans, stockpile essential supplies, become self-sufficient, and develop resources to survive long-term off-grid to ensure they are prepared to cope with the disruptions caused by major space weather events, including the risk of a global grid-down scenario. Technological singularity, or AI takeover. Likelihood low. Impact high. The looming specter of technological singularity, or AI takeover, poses a grave concern for preppers, given the potential for advanced artificial intelligence to surpass human capabilities and potentially pose an existential threat to humanity. In this scenario, super-intelligent AI systems could lead to widespread job displacement, economic upheaval, and loss of personal privacy. Furthermore, there is a legitimate concern among preppers about whether AI has the potential to wipe out humanity if not properly controlled. As such, it's crucial for preppers to stay informed about AI developments, advocate for responsible AI governance, and prepare for the possibility of AI-related disruptions. This includes acquiring skills and knowledge less susceptible to automation, such as hands-on trades and self-sufficiency skills, while also fostering resilience and adaptability in the face of technological advancements. Supervolcanic eruption. Likelihood very low. Impact high. The threat of a supervolcanic eruption, such as the one potentially posed by the Yellowstone caldera, is a daunting concern for preppers. Such an event could unleash catastrophic levels of ash, gases, and debris into the atmosphere, resulting in widespread climate disruption, crop failures, and even global cooling. The immediate effects could include ashfall, toxic gas emissions, and the destruction of infrastructure and habitats within the vicinity of the eruption. As preppers, it's essential to recognize the severity of this threat and take proactive measures to prepare for its potential impacts. This may involve developing evacuation plans and routes, stockpiling essential supplies such as food, water, and protective gear, and establishing communication networks with fellow preppers and local authorities. Additionally, preppers can focus on building resilience to environmental changes, such as by cultivating resilient crops, investing in renewable energy sources, and learning survival skills for coping with extreme conditions. Major asteroid impact. Likelihood, very low. Impact, high. The threat of a major asteroid impact is a significant concern for preppers, as such an event could result in widespread devastation and loss of life. The effects of a major asteroid impact would be catastrophic, including massive explosions upon impact, tsunamis, wildfires, and potentially even a nuclear winter scenario caused by the release of dust and debris into the atmosphere. As preppers, it's essential to acknowledge the potential severity of this threat and take proactive measures to prepare for its potential impacts. This may involve establishing emergency plans and evacuation routes, stockpiling essential supplies such as food, water, medical kits, and protective gear, and building or identifying shelters that can withstand the environmental hazards that may develop after the impact. These extreme worldwide disasters may seem unlikely, but their potential impacts are profound, underscoring the importance of preparedness, resilience, and self-sufficiency. As we conclude our exploration of potential disaster scenarios, it's crucial to reflect on the importance of preparedness without succumbing to fear or panic. While the events we've discussed may seem daunting, taking practical steps to prepare can empower us to face uncertainties with confidence and resilience. Prepare first for the minor, day-to-day emergencies. These are the ones that are most likely to affect you. And once you're fully prepared for these, you'll also be well on the way to being prepared for more major events. Prepping isn't about succumbing to paranoia or living in constant fear of catastrophe. Instead, it's about adopting a proactive mindset and taking responsible measures to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities in the face of adversity. Advances in technology and innovation continue to offer new tools and solutions for enhancing disaster preparedness and response. From renewable energy systems to communication devices, these innovations can bolster our ability to adapt and thrive in dynamic environments. Prepping is for everyone, regardless of age, background, or circumstance. Whether you live in a rural area or a bustling city, there are steps you can take to safeguard yourself and your loved ones. As we navigate an uncertain future, let's remember that hope, compassion, and preparedness are powerful allies. Together, we can build a more resilient and compassionate world, one where we're ready to face whatever challenges come our way. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and empowerment. Look out for our future videos on preparing for each of the events we've talked about today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable insights from Prepper's Paradigm. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and stay resilient.